Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Finding. My name is Dave, and today we take a look at Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy from Victory Point Games. Thank you so very much for your support, really do appreciate it. Now, this is I'm just going to say it right now, a complex game. It has 5 manuals that you can go through if you want. So, and it got the Golden Geek nomination for solo play, and that's basically only way I played it. So that will be the way that I will be reviewing it. Now, because this game is so complex and vast, I won't be going over any of the minute details or any of the powers of the characters. When I go into the how-to portion, it's going to be the basics, very basic, so you know what's going on. But basically, this game is dripping, no pun intended, with theme. And I never played this game before, so the 1st and 2nd edition I won't have any kind of recollection of, so I won't be comparing that to this one at all. So let's go ahead and go through the components of this heavy box, show you the basics, and then get to my thoughts. Let's go. Alright, so this is what you get in the box, and it's a bunch of cardboard. Very good art on all of it, very good thickness. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do a break. Yeah, it's all bendy, so that means it's good cardboard, and the paper on it is going to last quite a bit. Now, it's got a lot of cards in it, and then this is where you'll find a lot of story and a lot of different stuff as well. The finish is linen finish. It's not linen finish, but that's okay. And then you have these long cards here. I always like big cards. I don't know what it is. They're cool. And then you have just basic black dice. Yeah, these things here are linen finish, I think, or at least it looks like it. It might not be. The board is fair enough. It could be a little more festive, but there are just so many books that you get in here. The comprehensive rules, the basic game rules, level up book for playing basically a campaign. So you have options when it comes to gameplay. Alright, so now let me actually show you how that gameplay works. Well, at least the basics. Okay, so this is set up for the basic game. It's something you would want to play if you've never played it before. But I'm just going to go over the bare bone basics because there are so many books, so many rules, but you'll get a flavor of what this game's about. So winning the game is about getting rid of this event deck. That's where you're going to be flipping over these cards and executing step by step what it says. A lot of dice rolling is going to be involved in this game. Now, you will build a certain deck compared to the difficulty you want to build. Now, I didn't really build this event deck, I'm just using it as an example, but again, once you have completed that, you win. Or you lose if any of these Zeds get into town square, or if there's a lot of chaos on the board and you just can't handle it anymore. Now up here we have ammo, we have our infection track, which we'll be rolling against, and we have our supplies and actions and so forth and so on. We have everybody set up in the middle, and the actions that they can take are move, gunfire, forge, character actions. They have special abilities, heal, build. You can build little barracks around here that will give you pluses. Or arrest unzed, which we won't get into. But you can also build stuff like research and early and late research, so this will give you possibly a cure or some super weapons that you can build. Now as we're going into the game, Zeds will come into the cities where we're defending, and this is where you will roll the defense here. Now there are different things like hand-to-hand combat and gunfire combat. You are rolling the numbers on the side here, and it'll tell you the outcome by rolling here. Now we rolled decent. The power strength is right here, 2 and 2, so we did a 7 with hand-to-hand combat. Nothing happens, so we don't defeat them. Now if we defeat them, they just go away. If they hurt us, we will take a token here, and then we will have to flee to the next city. So we will take a damage token, put it on the defenders, and they will be fleeing instead. when a Zed takes over, they also add chaos to the board, which you can use to get rid of on an action once you reclaim the section. You'll be flipping over cards in this Fate deck and basically reading it through and executing that. When you use your ammo, you will tick it down like this. At the end of the round, you will check and see the supplies. If you don't have enough supplies, it will hinder your units. And like I said, you sometimes will have to roll against this infection track, and it might do some bad stuff to you. Now, if it gets all the way to the very end, well, it can trigger a Super Zed. Now, Zeds can come at you when they team up, so you need to keep that in mind and prepare yourself for bigger battles. And I kept track of it up here, but you can also keep track of the infection stuff down here on the board as well. And like I said, there are some heroes that have special shooting abilities, and you will execute those on your turn, scavenge for stuff, try to find, research and cure, make sure that these Zeds getting into town square, and you continue to do that until the event deck is done or until any other end stipulations for your specific scenario has been made. Now, that is the bare bones basics. Again, I want you to go into this experience and read for yourself, because this game is pretty complicated. But knowing what I've told you here, you can jump into the pool and start swimming yourself and make sure that you find out what this game's all about. Now, let me tell you what I think about this game and give it a grade. Let's go. So that is how you basically play Dawn of the Zeds. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a grade. It gets a 71 from me, which I'm willing to play any game that's in the 70s, but boy, this is a complex and big game. It's one of those games that you leave on the table overnight and get back to, because I was trying to play through the scenarios and the level up portion, and boy, there was just a few times when I played one game and I just left it on my table and then came back to it. That happened multiple times. To reading the setup, doing the setup, playing out the scenario, going through all the lore on the cards, doing the actual gameplay. There's a lot going on in this game. The reward, though, is some of the best storytelling and like absolute zombie theme in a game. Now, like Dead of Winter has interesting theme on the crossword cards. You get a lot of that flavor, but there was something that just detached me from Dead of Winter, and there were a few other zombie games that they didn't really make me feel like I was in the world, as if I were reading a zombie book, because that's when I felt most in depth in the world, like reading a Walking Dead comic book or reading World War Z, which was a fantastic book. And Dawn of the Zeds brought that for me. But because of all the reading, it just really bloats the gameplay. The components, I mean, you can tell that this is a victory point game. And I like victory point games for the reason I like to root for the underdog. And they've always had really good game ideas, and the components have always been like on the medium level. Always good thick cardboard, but very rarely do they go the miniature route. If they would have went the miniature route on this one, yeah, sure, it would have looked better. The board has two sides for the different scenarios. It's okay, but the art on the cards is where it's at. And it's pretty scary, I guess, at times. Playing in my room one time when it was dark, I wanted to see how that felt, and I was looking around because I have a closet here, and when the doors open, it's like deep dark, and you get that creepy feeling when you have that deep darkness, so it kind of provoked a little bit of it. But playing this game as a multiplayer, I didn't do it, but I can't see doing it. It might help to have two brains to execute the roles, but my assumption would be you would just be doing the same thing if you had another person there or not. They might point something out that would minutely change the outcome of the game, but I don't think it would be enough to really warrant playing with a second person unless you both are into like zombies and you want an experience. It's like you're a Walking Dead fan. Now 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know how this would work, but I would guess not so much. But I can tell that this game took a lot of hard work just tons of thought and ideas put on the cards. There were a ton of cards at Victory Point for you, but you know, it's an okay game. Something I'm going to keep on my shelf, but something I might just play once a year, and especially around Halloween time. This is probably when I'll bust that out. Good for solo play, maybe not so much for groups, but that's what I think. Again, thank you so much, Victory Point, for your support. You are fantastic, and I really do appreciate it. Now, thank you so much, Vi Nation, for clicking like and subscribe. And if you want to pick up this game, down in the description below. But until the next time that I see you, I'm Dave, and have a great rest of your day. Have a great time with all your brains. Vi Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance the dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.